let's try this again. I've already recorded this once, but I am not an OBS Studios expert by no means, and I am not a YouTuber by no means. So I am not the greatest at making videos. However, I did stumble across some amazing footage last night, and I wanted to make a video about it. So this video is about Arma Reforger, and kind of showing people that maybe have never played Arma Reforger or have never seen this side of Arma Reforger, or maybe have seen it but have never seen it put on YouTube. Um, I certainly have looked it up on YouTube, and it's hard to find anything quite like this on YouTube, even though it exists a lot. So why is there not a lot of it on YouTube? I'm not sure, but it does exist a lot. I've seen it in many cases. So I'm going to pull up a video, something I witnessed last night. Now this is um, a unit on Armor Forger. It's the 135th Infantry Company, I believe. Um, and look, before I go any further, let me just say I don't. I'm not judging anybody in this unit or in Armor Forger. This does exist a lot in Armor Forger. I've played with many groups, been a part of many groups. Part of many groups is discords, and this does exist a lot. And if you like this kind of stuff, then hey, no judgment. But I'm gonna play the video, and also I had some issues with my audio. Um, when I was recording the original video, because OBS Studios, I don't spend a lot of time with it. I should spend more time with it, but I hardly ever record. So, but this right here, I did want to record. I just had some issues with my audio, not the in-game audio. So that's a little unfortunate. So I will kind of talk and pause this video a little bit to give some context as to what I was saying. Anyway, so this is a group on Armor Forger. Um, this is well, I joined them on Discord. I was going to join their group, and usually with like a Milsim group, you have to go through like a BCT or basic training, essentially like the real armed forces basic training. I've been through basic training with the United States military. One of the branches. I feel like if I say the branch, a lot of the comments will be like, "Oh, you're not tough," blah 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 blah. And you're probably right. I mean, it's not the Marine Corps, which I think you'll see in this video. This guy is a former prior Marine, which not no disrespect to the Marines, um, but I was not a Marine. I do love the Marines. Everybody loves our Marines, but anyway, I digress. All right, so let's get into it. Armor Forger, the 135th Infantry Company. You'll hear two of the other guys in the training saying yes, drill sergeant, and no, drill sergeant a lot to the guy conducting the course. I have my own thoughts on that, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Once you catch him, get back here.
He's telling them to run. There was a little bit that I wasn't able to capture before this. Basically, these guys didn't say yes, drill sergeant, quick enough. So he had them run, and we said, go run over there, and they didn't say yes, drill sergeant, quick enough again. So he said, oh, run back, and they didn't say yes, drill sergeant enough again. I mean, if you watch real footage of Marine Corps basic training, like it looks very similar to that. It was like run this way, oh no, now run this way, now run this way, now run this way, now run this way. I mean, it would mirror exactly what you would go through, or maybe almost exactly what you would go through in Marine basic training, at least as far as what I've seen on videos and whatnot. But that's just giving some context as to why those two guys right there running away and saying yes, drill sergeant. So anyway, he's gonna come over here and talk to me. And so this Sir Rathorn right here, this will be kind of the main character of the video. Look again, Rathorn or Raythorn, if you're watching this, brother, look, there's no judgment towards you. Okay, I know you're a prior Marine. I'm assuming you're probably a younger guy. So you've got a lot of spunk, a lot of energy, and no disrespect to the energy. Love the hustle, love the energy. I I think I might be a little bit older than you, and so our priorities in life may be a little different. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But anyway, I'm just saying, if you're watching this, you know, all love, brother. No hate.
you here for BCT Po?
You're not going to hear me speaking. That's why I'm going to give context on this video.
You are?
You'll see me my mic symbol pop up, but
Go catch your battle buddies.
he's telling me to go catch my battle buddies, and I pretended to be dumb. I was like, "What do you mean go catch my battle buddies?" Um,
Hello? Hello?
Essentially, he's
Hello?
telling me just to run over there. For why, I
Go
don't
catch your
know.
battle buddies.
It's more of like a
Yeah, go catch them if you're part of the
just
BCT.
do what I say type thing, which is a very common thing in
Two dudes
military
are just
basic
running off in
training.
that direction. Towards the hangars.
So essentially, oh, by the way, if you hear me breathing on my mic, I am so sorry. This mic is so sensitive, and I don't have it set up for sensitivity levels in OBS Studio, OBS software correctly. So, like, I mean, I try to hold my breath so that you don't hear me breathing. So I will try to hold my breath and not breathe too well. I can't even hear myself breathing, but it can. That's how sensitive it is. Anyway, you'll see these two guys running back. I kind of just wait on them, and then you won't hear it. But I was asking them like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You know, what are you what are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we're just running." I'm like, "Why are you running?" And they're like, "Well, because you'll hear what he says." Basically, I was just trying to probe them to say uh, what they were doing and why they were doing it to for the video's sake.
You gotta run.
Gotta run.
Where we started. You gotta go back.
Gotta go back.
We didn't answer in time. So
We didn't.
gotta run.
We didn't answer in time, so we gotta run.
You didn't say yes, drill sergeant, or no, drill sergeant in time.
Didn't say yes, drill sergeant in time. Ah, that's funny.
We're running, man. Just running.
We're running, man. I showed my wife this, and she was like, "Man, that is cringy." And yeah, in my opinion, it is pretty cringy. But hey, different people like different things, I guess.
Yes, drill sergeant.
Yes, there's other.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, fucking introduce you, fucking Po.
So I should add. I said this guy's a former Marine. He's gonna tell you he's a former Marine here in a second. Um, I've played Armor. I've played Milsims with a lot of people, and you know, I played with enough Marines and former Marines that just hearing somebody talk, if I don't know how they're all, I guess they're all molded. Well, I guess they would all be molded the same, and you go through the same training courses. You kind of get molded into the same thing. But when you listen to somebody talk, I guess I've listened to enough Marines talk that you kind of just know, like, oh, yeah, that's a Marine. He's a former Marine. Without even, before I even started recording, I was like, I bet this dude's a former Marine. So when he said this, I was like, yep, I called it.
I'm First Sergeant Rathorn. Fucking IRL, I'm a prior service Marine. Fucking, I'll be doing your BCT today. Anything moving forward that I tell you to do, just say yes, drill sergeant. Fucking, any questions?
And then part of this, I didn't want to say yes and no, drill sergeant, because I think that's ridiculous to do in a video game. I did it in basic training because it's real life. But in a video game, dude, I'm too old for that. um, but anyway, I did play along because I wanted to get more footage. Uh, but I did troll a little bit, and you'll see that here in a minute, just to kind of draw out a little bit of more of that serious milsim stuff, So I did kind of troll a little bit to get a little more footage for the video. If I'm being totally honest, you can be like, "Oh, you're a terrible person." No, it's all in good fun.
No drill sergeant.
No drill sergeant.
I was talking to Po.
I was talking to Poe.
Damn, you weren't listening?
I told him I wasn't listening. I was, but I just pretended to not
What
be.
did you not hear? Alright, I'll just repeat the whole thing so you can hear it. Alright, I am First Sergeant Rathorn. In real life, I'm a prior service Marine. I will be doing your VCT today. Moving forward, anytime I tell you to do something, you'll say yes, drill sergeant. Did you hear it that time?
And then I
Beautiful.
said yes, drill sergeant, just to keep it moving.
Alright, fucking, have you read the rules before? Have you, read the rules in the server?
Yes, when he to answer that question, yes, I had already read the rules, and my response to him with that question was yes, yes, I read the rules, instead of yes, drill sergeant, and the response is hilarious.
What I just tell you to do.
What I just tell you to do. Oh gosh.
Okay, so in the conversation I just told you, I said I'll be doing
Oh
your
my lord.
BCT.
So I don't know if you just noticed that, but Captain Gamer said, "Oh my lord," because he was annoyed that I wasn't, responding appropriately. And the ironic thing about that is that grown men in a video game are annoyed with somebody who's not responding yes drill sergeant, no drill sergeant to another grown man who are all sitting behind a TV screen playing a video game. I just find that super ironic because um, it's, in my opinion, it's more annoying to have a grown man doing what they're doing right now, like grown men or maybe older guys. I don't know if they're teenagers or a former Marine. I would assume is over the age of 18. Um, these guys might Captain Gamer and the other guy might not be, but it's I find that to be annoying, and I just think it's ironic and kind of funny that they're like, oh my gosh, this guy's not playing along and doing the whole whatever this is. Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
From now on, you answer what?
But I kept playing along, just
All right,
saying yes,
all
drill
right.
sergeant,
This is
no
to
drill
fuck with you,
sergeant.
just
So
to see if you can follow directions. Okay.
okay, hang
That's
on a
what we
second.
want to
So
do.
I don't know if you heard that, but he said this isn't to mess with you. This is to see if you can follow directions. And I got a comments on that. It's no, it is not. It is not to see if you can follow directions. I recorded this video earlier and I gave this example, and I hate that it didn't record correctly, so I have to re-record it. But I'm gonna give the same example. Like let's say for example you're playing one of the most arcadey games out there, shooter games, Call of Duty. Okay, I used to play Call of Duty Warzone with my buddies. I would, if there was a guy, a sniper or something, a guy with a sniper rifle in a window, a second floor building, two-story building. He's on the second floor in the left window at 40 degrees. I would say, yo yo yo, sniper glint at 40 degrees. Two-story building, far left window, and all three of my buddies would look at 40 degrees, look at said building, and look at that window. And nobody had to say yes, drill sergeant, and nobody had to say no, drill sergeant. It was communicate the information, and we all handled it, appropriately, so we wouldn't die, so we would win the game, right? And there was no yes, drill sergeant, and no, drill sergeant. So this is not about following directions or being able to process information. It's not about that. I've been a part of a unit like this. I've been standing where these guys standing in front of me are standing. I've been on the other side of this line, and I can tell you, it's not about seeing whether people can or cannot follow directions. It is absolutely about a power dynamic of, these guys that are former military that want to relive those glory days at the expense of some other grown man who has, in my opinion, has self confidence issues. Uh, because no grown man who has like a solid self esteem and has no problem being in his skin is gonna let some random Joe Schmo on the internet be like, "Well, you say yes, drill sergeant to me." At least in my opinion, I don't think somebody who is comfortable in their own skin would do that and be like, "Yeah, this is normal," because it's, in my opinion, it's definitely not. So no, he says we're not messing with you. We're just trying to get you to follow directions. No, that is not what this is about. It's definitely about power and trying to hold some sort of virtual authority over other people, and it's just cringy. But anyway, I digress.
This. All right, Chris and fucking Captain. Why are we looking around?
Gosh,
There's something
Marty,
cool over there.
there's something cool over there.
No drill
Not drill
sergeant.
sergeant.
No
This
drill
is just
sergeant.
my character's position. I'm
Use
telling
the
you my head
free
to
look to look
land you
around. That way you
you
know.
won't.
So your character, in order for him to move, you have to touch the stick, right?
I'm trying to.
And notice he says for your character to move, you have to touch the stick. I mean, that immediately told me that this guy's on console. Maybe I don't know if any of these guys are on PC or if they're all on console, but I have noticed that people on console, because they don't have as much access to simulation games as PC players do. They seem to take Arma Reforger because it's probably the most intense, I guess is the good word, simulation game out there on console. So I've noticed that they take it a lot more seriously. I think PC players, because they have so much access to other games that are, law enforcement simulators, military simulators. I think they kind of look at Armor Forger just like another military simulator. They don't take it as seriously. But I've noticed that console players, at least the time that I've spent on Armor Forger, console players take this game way more seriously than PC players. Not for all cases, but just in general, I think I've seen that from my personal experiences. Anyway,
Look at you with my body looking at you at the same time, but
Do you need to look at me for your ears to work?
my gosh.
Alright, in the instructions that I gave you, you were told not to move unless told to do so, right?
yes, Drill Sergeant.
While we moving.
I don't know, Drill Sergeant.
Again, I want to point out, I know that whole encounter, some people may watch that and be like, yo, that is crazy this two people are having this conversation on a video game. I know it never gets old when I see this like raw, like unfiltered. It's actually happening. This is not being set up. It's not, I'm still it makes my eyebrows raise. Like, man, I cannot believe that these type of encounters amongst people on a video game exist. But I gotta say, the 135th Infantry Company, they're not the only place that this exists. I've seen it in so many other places, namely on Armor Reforger. Really, I don't see it on much on. Well, I saw it a little bit on Armor 3, but mostly on Armor Reforger is where I've seen it. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, it's not just restricted to the 135th Infantry Company. It's in a lot of places on Armor Reforger.
That's crazy. That's your one chance. That's your one. You're still moving. I was gonna give you a chance, and you're still moving.
Do you know how to use the free look, Captain?
No, I do not.
All right,
you on
break your
Xbox?
position. Break your position really quick. Straighten yourself out. Captain, did I tell you to do something?
Yes, Drill Sergeant.
Alright, now go back to the position you're in. Alright, now, if you need to look around because you have fucking ADHD, hold your right bumper and then look around and you won't move. Makes
Yes, Drill
sense?
Sergeant.
Alright. Alright, now back to you, Poe. So, have you read the rules of the server?
And I responded, yes, Drill Sergeant, just to kind of keep
Yes,
things
right.
moving along.
Alright, cool. Fucking... Have you been in a Milsim before?
Many, unfortunately.
You know what, ASR, MSR, fucking FOB, MOB, shit like that is like...
And I answered his question of this that yes, I do know what those things are. And honestly, even if I didn't know what ASR, MSR, FOB, things like that meant, it would take 2 seconds to Google it. They're not hard concepts to understand. So, anyway, just a small.
acronyms. Alright, cool. So, since you know that, we're just gonna skip forward right to where they were. Earlier you saw the wedge, right? That they had set up? Beautiful. Alright, cool. Alright, my demonstrator's firing line.
For this next little part, essentially he was just showing earlier before I was recording. They were showing these two guys what a wedge looked like, and then they show a firing line, and then a ranger file and a diamond, just different formations. And every single milsim that I've gone to, they do this. They do this during the basic training or whatever. I've been to one where they didn't. They just asked me if I knew what it was, and I was like, yes, I know what these things are. And they were like, all right, we'll just skip it. Which I love that. I was like, yes, finally somebody who's like, oh, you know what it is? All right, cool. We won't worry about going through it. Because honestly, one, these real life tactics and formations that are used, they're used in real life. I'm assuming, I'm not a prior infantry, but I'm assuming they're used in real life because they actually work in real life. Reacting to contacts and where you put certain people in a formation that have certain weapon systems. I understand that it's utilized in real life because it actually has a purpose. The problem I have with all the milsims that do this is that in a video game there's one distinct difference between real life and a virtual simulation, and that would be the fear of actually dying. If even if you're playing like a one life event, if you die in a video game, you just even if it's a one life event, you just turn off your computer and go drink a cup of coffee. There's no real fear of dying. And also, AI do not react to dying like a real person would, a real enemy combatant would, or I should say, being unalived. YouTube. So anyway, uh, yeah, that's one clear difference. And also, AI don't react to suppression. Arma 3 has some mods that kind of make the AI act a little more realistic, where if you suppress them, they will, try to lay down. And Armor Forger may have a little bit of that. It's been a long time since I played, so they may have improved the suppression effect on artificial intelligence, but it's just not real life. That's why it doesn't really carry over to gaming. And there's a guy that has a YouTube video that's all about that, like why real life tactics don't always necessarily carry over to video games. But anyway, so I might just skip past the next part of this because he's just going through the formations or whatever. Anyway, they're showing like the lines and stuff, and it goes for a couple more minutes or whatever, and then the diamond and all that stuff. File and yeah, all that good stuff.
Alright,
But anyway,
fourth person over.
that's pretty much. I thought I had recorded more. It was kind of funny. I asked them when at some point I asked them. I said, "Hey, do you guys mind if I upload this to YouTube?" And the one guy, this Sir Raythorn or whatever, was like, "Hey, do you mind if he uploads this to YouTube?" And the other guy was like, "Yeah, sure." And then later, because after that I just left. I was like, "All right, cool, thanks." And then I just left because I had the footage I needed. So later, they messaged me on Discord in the Discord, and they're like, "Hey, actually, we are not giving you permission to upload that to YouTube." And I was like, "Permission?" And so I just left the Discord. And then later, they privately messaged me in a direct message, and they were like, "Hey, if you upload that to YouTube, we're gonna report you to YouTube." Which, I mean, I guess go ahead and report me to YouTube for what? I haven't broken any of their rules, so I don't know what you're gonna report me for. Um, anyway, the last point I want to make is this. Look, like I said, I have been, you know, one of those guys standing in that formation before years ago. I did this whole Milsim thing, and I look back at that time and I'm like, man, why did I do that? I regret that so much because honestly, as the years have gone by and I've acquired more responsibilities and my priorities change and I have more things going on in life, you know, when you look at stuff like this, the first question I ask is, dude, how much free time do you have on your hands? Because my wife would be like, oh, well, you play the game, you get on and play video games all the time, and uh, she's probably right. But I don't play nearly as much, in my opinion, as I used to because I just have so many more responsibilities. And I'm also trying to change my hobbies and acquire more hobbies and do different things to minimize the amount of time I spend behind a computer. So that's neither here nor there. But I look at a situation like this. I'm like, how much time do you have on your hands? Because when I do jump on and play a game or whatever, I want to get into the fun immediately and enjoy the fun, and then while I can, and get off and go do something else because time is limited. So uh, look, if you're getting into Reforger, I would my personal advice, to Captain Gamer, if you're watching this, brother, if you want to do this, if you want to be hazed, in a virtual setting, hey, I guess everybody enjoys different things, but in a virtual setting, going through something like this, I don't think is worth your time. If you actually want to, I get it. I get why guys go through this kind of stuff and get smoked in a virtual setting. I think it's because guys are looking for, a community of bros to hang out with, to become a part of, and be a part of a group of guys. And I think it's better if you do that in real life and not on a video game. Honestly, um, but if you're looking for this, my honest advice is go join the real military. Go become part of a brotherhood, like Sir Rathorn, part of the Marine Corps. That's a brotherhood. Go join that and be a part of a brotherhood there. Don't do this weird stuff in a virtual simulation. This is a mil sim, yes, and everybody has a level of simulation that they want to simulate as. I guess I don't want to simulate to this level. I do like parts of it, but not this part of it because being in the real military, I did this already, and I don't want to do it again. Not especially not in a video game. That's just too time consuming and a waste of time, in my opinion. But I think there's a lack of uh, there's insecurities that maybe some people have, um, and that's why they do this type of stuff. Maybe not. I think it's more often the case that it is that people are have self-esteem issues and insecurity issues, and that's why they do stuff like this on both sides of that line that we're formed on. Um, but yeah, it's anyway. Uh, Not calling out. I mean, yes, I'm using this unit as an example to talk about that, but it's not just confined to the 135th. There's a lot of places that this exists, and yes, it does exist on Armor Reforger. So if you're jumping in Armor Reforger, keep an eye out for stuff like this. And honestly, I don't know. Do what you want to do. But if I were you, I would not do this kind of crap, man. I getting too old for that. Don't have that kind of time. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got to see parts of Armor Reforger that maybe you haven't seen before. Anyway, see ya.